I had a thought in my head. I thought I might give it a go and see what you think. I was thinking about what does it take to get out of debt, whether it be a mortgage, a credit card, student loans, or say I don't know, medical, hospital bills, what have you, whatever it may be. What can one do to get out of debt? And got to thinking that among other things it takes is for somebody to come up with a plan. Now, a plan is a little difficult to come up with, but you really got to be thinking about it. Now, this right here, debit card, obviously doesn't work because I wouldn't be showing it to you, is not your good friend. Because if I were to swipe it and use it, then it doesn't change color, doesn't change shape, doesn't wear down. Nothing physically tells you that it has been used or anything like that. However, this right here, $20 cash. People ask me why I'm so in favor of cash. Because when you have a $20 bill like this turn into a 25-cent coin, it physically changes shape, it changes the image, sometimes it changes the color, sometimes it changes the numbers, it changes, the image on the bill. So it gets you thinking that, hey, I'm about to spend X amount of dollars, let's say $12.50. So I'm about to spend $12.50 on such and such and such. Like for me, I'm about ready to go into the supermarket here, and I allotted myself $40 to buy food. That is for me. Those in my house. Yada yada yada. That's gonna last. That should last for a week, possibly two, depending on how much we eat. So, by doing that, you can dedicate a specific amount of money towards food, specific amount of money towards whatever, entertainment, restaurants, whatever the case may be. Now, when you're in debt, and debt is something that people try to complicate to make it easier on themselves and say, oh, it's just too difficult to figure out. No, it's not too difficult to figure out. When you owe somebody money, you probably heard the saying, the borrower is slave to the lender. That is too true. That's very true. So that means that you don't go buying movies, you don't go out to eat, you don't do any of that crap out there. So you basically allot yourself a certain amount of money, which some people call it the envelope system, which means that you take an envelope or envelopes, depending on however you want to say it, and you write down food on it. And then you take another envelope and you write down entertainment. And you could do, gasoline for the car, put gasoline, or electric bill, or even utility bills in general, or whatever. Some people call that the envelope system. You can use real envelopes if you want to, or if you think you can do it without, more power to you. But what I'm trying to get at is that if you take cash and you use it, there's something to say where you have a Franklin that turns into a Grant, that turns into a Jackson, that turns into a Hamilton, that turns into a Lincoln, that turns into a Washington, that turns into whoever's on the coin, then it turns into the dime, turns into the nickel, turns into the penny. For UK folks, I believe it goes for, it turns into 50 because you don't have $100 notes over here. So it turns into the 50, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the 1, to the, I believe your highest is 10 cents. So, I mean, it just goes down and down and down. But like I said, when you got that card in your hand, it doesn't physically change shape or anything like that. So, I guess I'm kind of repeating myself here, so I'm going to kind of give it up on that. But ultimately, you need to take a plan, and the plan, bottom line, is to not spend money on things that you need to. In fact, I was talking to this one guy. This guy is rich. I can't really. He's just one of my customers of mine from way back when. But I asked him. I said, "What does it take to become rich?" And he says, "I tell you this." He says, "Every time you make a purchase, you get a receipt." And receipt. And what you do is you look on that receipt and you say, okay, item number 1, did I really need to buy that? Like, for example, I bought a Gatorade. Do I really need to buy a Gatorade? Yeah, it's only 86 cents, but you know what? Do I really need to buy it? Yeah, no, let's say no. So then you put that in a certain pile. And then, let's say I went ahead and I bought a pen right here. And I said, did I really need that pen? Yes, I did. So you put that pen and the amount in a certain number right there. And do that for each and every single little item. And then when you get done, and when you get paid again, you take all the money in the wants pile, things that you really, really, really wanted, and you bought. If you can't double it, you need to double it. And if you cannot double it with your next paycheck, you got to work on not spending so much money. Just a thought. Take it, leave it. I don't care. Just something that somebody taught me. Kind of worked out with me kind of well. Obviously, I don't follow it 100% like I should, but at the same time, it is something to work on. Anyways, I'm going to get in there, spend my $40 on food. Woo. So, like I said, you know what? Ultimately, find out what it is that you need to do in order to get yourself out of debt. Make sure your net value, which if you don't understand what that is, it is the amount of money that you have. That includes assets, whether it be a house, car that you own, property, things like that, minus your debts, your credit cards, your whatever it may be. So, if you have $20,000 in assets, that includes cash, by the way, so $20,000 in assets, and you have $15,000 in liabilities, which would be your debt, that means that you have a net value of $5,000. Not really something to celebrate, but it is, you're getting there. Now let's reverse the process, and I'm going to wrap this up. Let's say you have $15,000 in assets, whether it be cash, property, bonds, whatever, things like that. And then you have $20,000 in liabilities, aka debts, whether